Hi, my name is Sherry Robbins, and I will be presenting the design pattern Memento. So this is just the talking points. I'll start off with the intent of Memento design pattern and end with a demo. This presentation also has references, so if you wanted to go back, you'll see where I got my information. So first up, like I said, is intent. And according to the book, Design Patterns, Elements of Reusable Object-Oriented Software, note here that I include my references on each slide, so if you wanted to go and get more information, please do so. But back to intent. Without violating encapsulation, capture and externalize an object's internal state so that the object can be restored to this state later. So think of the undo button. When you're playing a game or inputting data on a website and click the undo button, it will be likely using the Memento design. Memento is all about undoing. The main motivation for Memento design is to allow an object to go back to the previous state, but not expose that previous state structure. Participants of the Memento design pattern is the Memento class, which takes a picture of originator object's internal state and stops other objects besides the originator from accessing it. You see the originator class. Memento restores the originator class internal state, and the originator class also creates memento of current internal state. Finally, you have the caretaker, which safe keeps mementos, but does not look at the memento class. Next slide, I will show you the diagram, and you'll see a class called concrete memento. What this class does, instead of putting the memento class with the originator or nesting it inside the originator, you create this class and it works with the originator. It's another way to use the Memento design pattern. And to go on to a little bit more about the concrete Memento class, what the originator does is it gets a word, saves that word to the concrete Memento, but gets that word back from the Memento class. So the originator will get a word, saves that word to the concrete Memento, but when it wants to retrieve that word back, it retrieves that word back from the memento. You'll see the caretaker deals with the originator, and the concrete memento deals with, obviously, with the memento. You'll also notice here that because I use a concrete memento, that all get letters, get user words, and get words, it has to be made public. So the consequences of this design pattern is keeping encapsulation. It gets the object state, so it does keep encapsulation. It simplifies the originator because the originator class, because the caretaker class keeps track of its history. Some languages might have a problem with this design pattern because it cannot guarantee access to the memento from only the originator. So you might have to create concrete, like I did, a concrete memento and or a concrete originator to help with this. And costly mementos, because you're constantly creating mementos. If your program constantly undoes and saves, you might run into a storage problem or RAM. So known uses in the classes. So collection classes in Dylan and QOCA constraint solving toolkit. Okay, so Dylan is a programming language. If you didn't know what Dylan was, like I didn't, it's from the 90s, built by Apple Computer. It has classes called collections, and those classes are used for data types like arrays and sets. For QOCA, which is used for graphical application, it uses memento by allowing users to go back to the previous solution. See, like going back, like doing undo. So here's my code, and I'll be demoing this for you guys later. We have the class caretaker and the class memento. If you're wondering, the originator is on the next slide. Some interesting things is the caretaker has the undo option and it shows the history, but this right here is the backup. And what it does is it saves from the originator class. It gets the concrete memento from the originator class and pushes that back into the vector words. I'll show you the save in the originator class in a minute. The undo, this is just pops back because it's a vector, so it just pops back and removes the previous word. So it goes back to the previous state / word. Here's the class Memento. Remember I told you guys that it was going to be made public because of the concrete memento. If you wanted to go around the concrete memento, you would have to make the originator class a friend here in the memento class. So here's the concrete memento, and you'll notice that it just follows the memento class. Now the originator class, you'll notice that it's kind of long, so I had to split it up. But this is just gets and sets. That's a constructor. I'll go over some more of this in a demo. Here's the save. So see, I'm showing you what the word is that's being saved right now. That's why there's a C out. So it returns a new concrete memento, but it sends concrete memento the user word. And that's how it knows to save it. So when we go to backup, right here, you see how you're pushing back what's in the save, which is the user word. Void previous state. What this does is it's getting a memento and goes back to the previous state. So remember how I told you the concrete, you save it to the concrete and you get the word back from the memento. Right here, you're getting the word back from the memento class. Here's some screenshots of my code. This is adding a word into the list and undoing. You'll see this again. And finally, now I can show you the demo. Excuse me while I try pulling up my screen for you guys. Okay, here we go. This is my code. So you'll notice right here references in case you want to just go back and like, how did she do it or why I did something this way right here. Here's my memento class. Here's my concrete memento. Remember I told you that memento class is public and this should follow what's up there memento. The originator class, I'm not sure, but I didn't tell you what I'm demoing. And what I'm demoing is the child's game of when you get a letter, give a word. So I'll give you a letter and you give me what word you think corresponds with that letter. That's why you see string words and string letter right here. These are just the gets and sets. I'm keeping track of the word. So if I want to keep track of other things, you would have to do multiple states. So you might have to create multiple mementos, but I'm just keeping track of one. This checks the word to see if it's correct. Here's the save. So you're returning a new concrete memento, but you're sending in the user word to a concrete memento. This returns to previous state. You see the word that removed. I'm letting you know that this word won't be in the list. Okay, here. Concrete, backup. Like I told you guys, this pushes back the word that was right here. So it should push back the concrete word. Yeah, concrete memento, which stores the user word. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you guys. Here's the undo option, so it pops back, so that word gets removed from the vector. The vector words right here. This shows history of the words. Now the user code, you'll notice right here that I already have put words into the list right here. So you see word 1, word 2. That's just words. I wanted you to see that there's an actual list. So now, because I keep talking about it, I'm going to actually demo it for you. And let me do another screen share so you guys can actually see the demo. Okay, so I'm going to enter my name, or you would enter your name. You're probably wondering why, because I want you to see that it actually goes onto the list. So just give me your word that starts with V. Let's say you look at van, but you spelled it wrong. So would you like to keep this guess? No, because you noticed that you spelled it wrong. So I'm undoing van. I'm showing you that it was put on a list, but now it's not. So the word I'll be undoing. So new history, you'll see, was there, now it's not. So do van again. And the list of words, you'll see my name, and I added it back onto the list. You want to keep this guess? Yes, because now you know that it's good. And so see, now it's back onto the list. It was here, but if you wanted to change it, then you would do an undo and it would remove it. So that's my demo. I hope you guys enjoyed it and maybe learned something. If you have any questions, please just post it or just let me know. But thank you for watching.